okay if you haven't got 5. What is 5 things that you wish you knew sooner? So we're asking all the guests this. So you don't have to have 5, but it's just an opportunity for you to give some insight and advice sort of thing.
Number 1 would be show up or start talking on camera. Like, just start talking on camera. I wish I did that. I didn't do it years and years ago because I'd gained weight and I felt uncomfortable with how I looked. And in hindsight, if I'd have just ignored it, because I then went on stories at the same weight, and guess what? It was fine.
Yeah.
Like, the world didn't end. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It was fine.
It feels so alien at first, doesn't it, when you're speaking to a camera? It feels so silly, but I think the more you do it...
You feel silly, and then you just get used to it, and it feels like nothing. And do you know what? So that would be my number 1. My second would be, I wish I remember or learn earlier not to care. So what I mean is, there's times when my story views will be down to like 300, 400, and there'll be times when my story views are like 1,200, which we had recently, which was nuts to me.
Wow.
And when they were like low, like when they're like 300, which still happens sometimes, I feel really like down about it. And I've learned that in those situations, or what I wish I knew sooner, was to like not feel crap and hide and not go on stories, but just go back to a place of joy. So as long as you just enjoy what you're putting out, and if you do, then it's okay, then you don't need to think about anything else.
I remember seeing something actually following on from that about the so for me, I used to get quite a lot of views on my stories, whereas now, since I've switched up my content and I'm not super pink and red, my story views have gone down. I think last week I peaked at 40 viewers, so I was like, oh, that's so low compared to what I'm used to. But then I saw something on Instagram where it was like, imagine if you had a shop and 40 people came into your shop at once.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's a lot of people.
I love that.
And that's how I'm thinking, right, 40 people is like a lot of people. If I could see them visually in front of me, these are 40 people who are engaging with my content, and that's amazing.
It is,
and that's how I think of it. That's huge. I'm going to use that now because it's so helpful. Because it is. Because think about it. Even if it's one person, like one person is showed up for you and is interested in what you have to say and is giving you that time. Like that can't not make you feel grateful.
Yeah.
And so then I just when I find people are like so when if I've got like 200 views, 300 views, and I'm feeling a bit meh, I'm just like, no, that's like people. Make sure that you give these people the best time of their life, because like they're giving you their time. Like that's so nice.
Like, I think there was like 200 people in my primary school, so that's like a whole primary school.
Yeah. You know how much that is?
So
that's insane. Now you've said it like that, it's like, what? And I think when you have that attitude, your content's better anyway.
Yeah, because people see that. Yeah, people see it.
I think that's it. Since I've changed my view on it, I think now I'm starting to enjoy it a lot more, and I'm putting less pressure on myself. It comes across as more authentic because it is.
Yeah,
because you're just, but it's funny, like I'm going through a bit of that at the moment. Like I was getting a bit like, oh, you're like your views aren't what they were for Valentine's Day, and then I'm like, just have fun, Sash. And when I was doing my live last night, like there was times where there was only 11 people on the live, and I had the best time, and we still got orders. And it's just like,
but that's 11 people that are just like chilling.
Exactly. Imagine so if I had a party, I don't have 11 people to invite.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I don't think I do either.
I was watching this TikTok actually where it was this girl talking about getting married, and she was like, oh, I have like 30 people to invite and the boyfriend has 30 people to invite, and she was like, I don't know 30 people. It's like, my side's going to be so bare. And then I was like, I don't think I even have 10. I don't think I have 10 people that I would want out on my side at my wedding.
Well, maybe all those 10 people have partners, so that doubles it.
There we go.
They all get a +1.
When you actively need +1. Indian weddings are like so massive. Like normally, like my friends, they'll be like, oh, there's at least 500 people on my side of the family. And I'll be like, me and my other friend will be like, yeah, babes, there's like, we'll be lucky to have 10 each.
Wow, I guess that's a good thing because it
seems
cheaper.
like a lot of pressure to me.
It's just expensive. It's a lot of expense. Okay, so my third thing would be, I still haven't done this properly, but I wish I tracked my sales. I wish I every month sat down with myself and said, this is how much money you've made this month, and set myself a target for next month, because I used to think targets were stupid and unnecessary, but I realised that was just dumb. And I wish I've started setting myself selling targets, because then I had something to aim for.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think I need to take that
because I know they can feel a
advice.
bit intimidating. They can feel a bit intimidating, but I feel like if someone told me like if you don't start tracking it, then you don't know what's going on, and it's not a bad thing. It's still happening whether you track it or don't track it. But if you track it, you'll end up making unconscious decisions that help you reach your target.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, because you're thinking about it. Because you're tracking it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so in the back of my head, I'll be like, oh my, like I don't know, like I want to do 20 orders today organically or every day organic. If you have that in the back of your mind, you might just naturally be like, oh guys, this is a card that's doing well. Do you know, just things that you wouldn't have thought to like to remember. So I guess basically somebody also linked to that is number 4 would be like, don't be afraid to sell. Somebody told me like to sell every day, and I was like, what do you mean? And I realized I do sell every day now, and it might sound like, but not in a way where I hope that it's like really wanky and like buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this.
It's not, don't worry.
But I do sell every day in a way that's like, oh, nanny for employee of the month, that's a sell, because it's reminding you that we're a business and she's an employee for the month. Or like, so there's remembering to actually, because I used to just make content about my life and it was just fun, but then I was like, I'm actually here to sell cards. So when I went in with the attitude of try and sell every day, it allowed me to sell more stuff. I didn't lose followers, nothing bad happened. It was just that, because like, people probably did want to buy, but they're so busy, it didn't even occur to, if I'm not reminding them that we've got this card out, I'm not helping them to even want to buy from us.
Yeah. There was this study that was done, I think this is right, but they said that somebody has to see something 8 times on average before they actually buy it.
I read that too, and I think that stays in my head all the time, that 7 thing, because I'm like, let's do it 7 times.
Yeah.
And then, because then I think about also, so that would be that, and then my other thing would be like, when you're panicking, think about how you shop. So, you know, when you're like, oh, they're going to really like hate me and I'm boring them, be like, well, what business do I like? X. Does she really bore me when she talks about products? No. Why do I like it? Because this.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, okay.
We're our own biggest critic, I think, when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah. And I think people would probably follow me and think like, it's unlikely that I would even be like that, because I'm so sassy and I'm so like, I do believe in what we do. But even I have moments of like, everyone hates me.
Oh, everyone
and your
does.
Brain, your brain's just like, like your brain's just a big fat liar. So when your brain's like lying to you, it's just really helpful to like think about how you interact with, or for me at least, how I interact with other businesses, and be like, oh, like when I saw like Laura post her prints, what did I think? I thought, oh, like, this was really cool, I want to see how it turns out. I didn't think, oh my god, Laura, why do you keep showing me your prints?
Yeah.
Which is funny, because it's like, that's what I would tell myself. Do you know what I mean?
It's weird, because I feel like you almost view yourself differently. It's almost like, you know, when you say I don't take my own advice, it's a bit like that. Like,
exactly like that.
Everyone's so easy to just judge themselves.
I think women more so than men. I think we have to fight ourselves first.
Wake up every day with the confidence of a 65-year-old straight white male.
I love that.
Yeah, I love that as well. So what number was that one? Number 3?
No.
I think I'm on 5. I think I've done 5.
You've done 5?
Hang on.
Oh, it flowed so much that I just absolutely didn't even realise what we were up to.
Yeah, we're 5 there.
I feel like we've done 5.
Well, even if we haven't, that was absolutely amazing. I love that. I'm going to take those pieces of advice into
I'm going to
my
take what
life.
you guys said into my head too. I'm like, the thing that you said about how many people and like imagine them in a room, that's going to stick with me like that.
That's going to stick with me as well. Thanks so much for telling me that. I'm really excited about that piece of information. Love it.